Genesis 31 plunges us into a tense family drama. Jacob, the patriarch, finds himself at odds with Laban, his father-in-law. For 20 years, Jacob has lived and worked in Laban's household. He married Leah and Rachel, Laban's daughters. He has fathered a large family. Yet, the bonds of kinship are strained. A shadow of suspicion and resentment has fallen over Jacob's once welcoming home. Jacob's journey began many years earlier. He fled his own home after tricking his brother Esau out of their father's blessing. Now, after 2 decades in a foreign land, Jacob senses a growing unease. Laban's attitude has shifted. The warmth of their early relationship has cooled. A sense of distrust hangs in the air, setting the stage for a bitter conflict. Laban's initial fondness for Jacob is undeniable. He welcomed Jacob into his home. He gave him his daughters in marriage. He benefited greatly from Jacob's hard work and skill in tending his flocks. However, as the years passed, Laban's attitude underwent a transformation. He became envious of Jacob's growing prosperity. He began to see his son-in-law as a rival rather than a partner. Laban's true feelings became apparent in his dealings with Jacob. He repeatedly changed Jacob's wages, exploiting his son-in-law's desperation to provide for his growing family. He accused Jacob of stealing his wealth, even though Jacob had been nothing but honest and hard-working. The once cordial relationship had soured, poisoned by greed and mistrust. Amidst the growing tension, God intervened. Jacob, feeling the weight of his circumstances, found himself in a moment of deep reflection and uncertainty. The night was still, and the stars shone brightly, casting a serene glow over the desert landscape. In a dream, God spoke to Jacob. This was not just any dream, but a divine encounter that would change the course of his life. Jacob, lying under the vast expanse of the night sky, felt a profound sense of peace. As the voice of God filled his mind, he reassured him of his constant presence and protection. God's words were like a soothing balm to Jacob's troubled soul, reminding him that he was never alone, even in the most challenging of times. The divine light that shone upon him was a symbol of God's unwavering support. He commanded Jacob to return to the land of his ancestors. This command was not just a directive, but a promise of a brighter future. Jacob, with renewed determination, understood that his journey was part of a greater plan, one that was woven into the very fabric of his lineage. God promised to bless him and make him a great nation. This promise was a beacon of hope, illuminating the path ahead. Jacob envisioned a future where his descendants would thrive and prosper, a testament to God's faithfulness and the fulfillment of his promises. This divine message filled Jacob with hope and determination. The stars above seemed to echo the promise, twinkling with a newfound brilliance. Jacob felt a surge of energy and purpose, ready to embrace the challenges that lay ahead. It was a clear sign that it was time to leave Laban's household and return to his homeland. The decision was not easy, but the clarity of God's message left no room for doubt. Jacob and his family began to prepare for the journey, each action filled with a sense of urgency and anticipation. Jacob, yes, I must obey God's command. His voice was firm, resonating with conviction. The desert, vast and unforgiving, was now a path to a promised future guided by divine light. But I must also be cautious. Jacob knew that the journey ahead was fraught with danger. The shadows of the past loomed large, and he had to navigate them with wisdom and care. Laban cannot know of our plans. The secrecy was paramount. Jacob understood that any misstep could jeopardize their entire mission. The whispers in the night were filled with the weight of their secret. Jacob, ever mindful of God's guidance, knew he had to obey. His steps were sure, each one a testament to his faith and trust in God's plan. The divine light that guided him was a constant reminder of the promise that lay ahead. However, he also understood the dangers of openly defying Laban. The eyes that watched him were filled with suspicion, and Jacob had to tread carefully, balancing obedience with prudence. He had to proceed with caution and wisdom. Every decision, every step had to be meticulously planned. Jacob's mind was a flurry of strategies, each one aimed at ensuring the safety and success of his family's escape. He shared God's command with his wives, seeking their support in this risky endeavor. Leah and Rachel listened intently, their faces reflecting a mix of concern and determination. They knew the risks, but also understood the importance of the mission. Jacob, Leah, Rachel, God has spoken to me. His voice was filled with a sense of urgency and conviction. The starry sky above seemed to bear witness to the gravity of the moment. We must leave this place and return to the land of our forefathers. The decision was made and there was no turning back. The family worked together, each task a step closer to their new beginning. Together, they planned their escape from Laban's control. The night provided the cover they needed, and their movements were swift and silent. Every shadow was a potential threat, but their resolve was unshakable. And their journey back to the land promised to their forefathers. The desert stretched out before them, a vast expanse of uncertainty and promise. With each step, they moved closer to the fulfillment of God's promise, their hearts filled with hope and determination. Even as Jacob prepared to depart, he was filled with a sense of urgency and determination. He knew that leaving Laban's household was the right decision for his family and their future. The journey ahead was uncertain, but Jacob trusted in God's guidance and protection. God continued to intervene in the unfolding drama, ensuring that his plans for Jacob would not be thwarted. The divine presence was a constant reminder that Jacob was not alone in his struggles, and that every step he took was under God's watchful eye.
Jacob, you can't just take my daughters and leave. How dare you act so deceitfully and without any warning? This is not how families should treat each other. What are you up to? What are your true intentions? I demand to know why you have done this.
Laban, enraged by the loss of his daughters and suspicious of Jacob's intentions, set out in pursuit. His heart was filled with anger and betrayal, and he was determined to confront Jacob and bring him to justice. The journey was long and arduous, but Laban's resolve did not waver. Yet, even in his anger, Laban was subject to the divine will. God's hand was at work, guiding the events and ensuring that his will would be done. Laban's pursuit was not just a chase, it was a part of a larger divine plan.
Laban, be careful not to say anything to Jacob, either good or bad. This warning from God was clear and unmistakable, leaving no room for doubt or misinterpretation.
God appeared to Laban in a dream, warning him not to harm Jacob. The dream was vivid and powerful, a direct communication from the divine that left Laban shaken and contemplative. He realized that his actions were being watched and judged by a higher power. This divine intervention served as a powerful reminder that God was watching over Jacob, even in his flight. It was a testament to God's unwavering commitment to protect and guide those who followed his path. Jacob's journey was fraught with danger, but he was never truly alone.
What was that? I must be cautious. Laban's mind raced as he tried to comprehend the significance of the dream. He knew that he could not ignore such a clear warning from God.
Laban, shaken by the dream, continued his pursuit with a newfound caution. His anger was tempered by fear and uncertainty, and he approached Jacob with a mix of emotions. The divine warning had left a deep impression on him, altering his perspective and actions. He confronted Jacob, accusing him of theft and deceit. The confrontation was intense, filled with accusations and denials, as both men tried to assert their positions and defend their actions.
Jacob, why have you deceived me and carried off my daughters like captives in war? What have you done with my household gods? Laban's voice was filled with a mix of anger and desperation as he sought answers.
Yet Laban's anger was tempered by fear. The divine warning had made him aware of the consequences of his actions, and he knew that he could not act recklessly. His fury was now mixed with a sense of caution and respect for the divine will. He knew he could not harm Jacob without incurring God's wrath. This realization forced Laban to reconsider his approach and to seek a resolution that would not provoke divine retribution. This divine intervention highlights God's active role in protecting Jacob and ensuring the fulfillment of his promises. It was a powerful reminder that God's plans would always prevail, and that those who followed his path would be under his protection. Jacob's journey was a testament to the power of faith and the unwavering support of the divine. Jacob's impending departure was further complicated by the complex relationships within his own family. The dynamics within the household were intricate, with each member holding their own set of loyalties and grievances. Jacob, who had served Laban for many years, was now ready to return to his homeland, but this decision was not without its challenges.
Rachel, what are we going to do? Our lives have been intertwined with our father's household for so long. The thought of leaving everything behind is daunting. Our father has treated Jacob so unfairly. Despite all his hard work and dedication, He has been met with deceit and manipulation. It's heartbreaking to see the man we love being treated this way.
Rachel and Leah, his wives, were caught between their loyalty to their father and their love for their husband. The sisters had grown up in their father's house, a place filled with memories and traditions. Yet their bond with Jacob had grown stronger over the years, and they felt a deep sense of duty to support him. They resented their father's treatment of Jacob. The unfairness and the constant scheming had taken a toll on them. They had witnessed Jacob's struggles and felt his pain as their own. S3, I know, Leah, it's been so difficult to watch. But we must find a way to support Jacob. He has always been there for us, and now it's our turn to stand by him. But we must support Jacob. He needs to return to his homeland. It's not just a matter of leaving, it's about reclaiming his identity and fulfilling his destiny. He needs to return to his homeland. The land of his ancestors calls to him, and he feels a deep yearning to go back. It's a journey that he must undertake, and we must be by his side. They understood their husband's desire to return to his homeland. It was a longing that resonated deeply within him, a call that he could not ignore. However, leaving their father's house also meant leaving behind their own familiar world, the place where they had grown up, the people they had known all their lives. However, leaving their father's house also meant leaving behind their own familiar world. The memories, the traditions, the sense of belonging, all of it would be left behind. S4. Leaving father's house, though it's not just about us, Rachel, it's about everything we've known, the comfort of familiarity, the security of the known. All of it will be gone. It's not just about us, Rachel. It's about everything we've known. The life we've built here, the relationships we've formed, all of it will be left behind. It's about everything we've known. The traditions, the customs, the way of life, all of it will change. It's a huge step, and it's not one to be taken lightly.
I can't let Father control us any longer. We've been under his thumb for too long. It's time for us to take control of our own lives. We need to be free. Free from his control. Free to make our own decisions. Free to live our own lives.
Rachel, in a controversial act, stole her father's household gods. This act was not just a theft, it was a bold statement of defiance. It was her way of breaking free from her father's control and asserting her own independence. This act, while morally ambiguous, reveals the depth of her commitment to Jacob and her desire to break free from her father's control. It was a risky move, but one that she felt was necessary to ensure their freedom.
Rachel, are you sure about this? Stealing father's gods, it's a serious act. What if he finds out? What if it brings more trouble upon us?
It's the only way, Leah. We have to break free. We can't let him control us any longer. This is our chance to start anew, to build a life on our own terms. We have to break free. It's a risk, but it's one we have to take. For our sake, for Jacob's sake, for the sake of our future.
The theft of the household gods added another layer of tension to the already fraught situation. It was a bold move that could have serious repercussions, but it also demonstrated the lengths to which Rachel was willing to go to secure their freedom. It demonstrated the complex and often conflicting loyalties that existed within this ancient family. The ties that bound them were strong, but so were the forces pulling them apart. In the end, it was a story of love, loyalty, and the struggle for independence.